You mentioned having people from different promotions and whatnot. How do you go about that? Because as we know in pro wrestling, you have to constantly be negotiating with other promotions and trying to decide for, like, okay, is my guy going over? That guy's going over. And, obviously, I don't want to get too much into the weeds and break down the fourth wall, right? But also, just like from your perspective of balancing those relationships with those other promotions to make sure that their talent is, being taken care of and trying to navigate the politics and all of that of pro wrestling.
Yeah, and I mean, look, there's times that politics pops up in pro wrestling. It's great when it doesn't, but sometimes it's just the reality. But I find these days there's a lot more of a open philosophy, and there's a lot more of an open mind to doing things. Like there was a day and time where we wouldn't be able to have pro wrestling Noah talent mix it up with New Japan Pro Wrestling talent. We have that here. There was a time when you couldn't have an NWA World Champion facing a guy who hasn't competed in the NWA. There was times where like these type of things couldn't happen. And I think overall, when you look at it, I think that the cross promotional aspect of professional wrestling is such a big part of what the business is today, and that's something like I chatted with Jeff Jarrett. We caught up last week, and part of what we talked about, I was like, double. I go, you think about it, you look at everything that's going on with wrestling and all these collaborations, and I think you and I were two of the guys that were out there 10, 12 years ago, and even earlier saying, this is what we have to do. You look at that early TNA, we went out there and said, hey, let's get in the luchadors and let's incorporate lucha libre into this. Let's go out and let's get a relationship in Japan and work with Japan. Let's do these things. And I think when that's done, and if you can keep the politics and everything to a minimum, then it creates a great situation where everybody wins, right? I mean, both companies win, and then most importantly, the fans win for being able to see these matchups. Like we have a three-way match that we just announced a couple days ago with Kiyomiya versus Alex Zane versus Tayo Ishimori. And it's almost like my social media guy hit me up and said, "Boy, like Japanese Twitter is going crazy for this three-way announcement, right? And like the engagements are through the roof, and it's all on the Japanese side because it's a match that they haven't seen in Japan. And while it might happen, because Kiyomiya has been competing some in New Japan, he had that famous match and mini feud there with Okada. This is you got the ace from Noah stepping in the ring with two guys from New Japan, and that's a cool, intriguing match, I think, for people. So that's the fun of being able to mix it up and be able to kind of put things in a salad bowl and shake it up and come there and say, hey, what can we do in here that's cool and different that you wouldn't see in other places?